The Retro Buzz starts right after this.
All right. We are live Friday. It's time for the Retro Buzz, episode number 41. And we're back. Glad to be here with you guys. We've got Mr. Planamento from his green room.
Yeah, it's very green, but no screen. But it is green, yes. I
But-
got my, see, look, I'm all ready to be clean. I got my Clorox here. I have my glue gun. I have my,
Wait,
when I
is,
go to Taco Bell mask.
is that your 3D printer back there? Or is that just a regular printer?
No, that's actually my printer. My 3D printer is actually right over, well, it's over that way to you, but it's over this way to me.
So Glenn is in the green room auditioning for all the ladies that he's been taking out. So
That's it. That's it.
So he's going to be heading out
Got to get out there.
this evening even. He's got a date.
That is correct.
Wow. Moving on up.
Gotta get out
moving
there.
on up. Also, we've got, always has a different color. I like it. The purple room, we've got Mr. Doug Smith.
Pleasure as always. Glenn, best of luck on your date tonight.
Thank you,
Normally
sir.
I say like break a leg and stuff, but like, domestic batteries, not something to joke about. So we'll just say good luck.
And we've also got Daniel with us now. What are you going to bust on Glenn about anymore? You can't bust on him anymore because he's got a date now.
He's gonna get rejected if he proposes.
Well,
that went downhill really quick. Okay. Denied. Well, guys, it's we've got some things that are going to be happening. So I want to put this out there to everybody on a serious note. There may or may not be a show next week, and I'll have more details on that in a YouTube video later this upcoming week. It's not a bad thing. It's just something that's going to be possibly going on. So I just want to put everybody wise. We're not going to be vanishing or disappearing, but there is a possibility that there will be no show next Friday night. And again, I will keep everybody up to date on that. But
We're doing The Bachelor that Friday. Next Friday's The Bachelor.
the
Follow me around next Friday. Okay?
Yeah, you're gonna be
tune in for the Glenn Bachelor. Okay.
You're gonna be going on multiple dates.
And then you're gonna be rejected every time and every time.
You're just not getting any love from him this week. He's ruthless aggression. So let's talk about this news that we've got this week. So if you guys caught Legend Center, we did bring up, and I didn't get to talk to you guys about it, the new artwork that AtGames has brought out. What your guys' thoughts? Because Daniel and I actually got to see the cabinet for the first time.
Yes. At Sam's Club. The one thing I didn't like about it was it's thinner than the first Legends Ultimate cabinet. And that's one of the things that I didn't like about it because I like it more thicker.
You like it looking like the arcade cabinet.
But Daniel
remember,
likes them thick.
he likes them.
I
He
was
likes it
gonna say,
thick.
he's talking about the machine, right?
Well, remember the graphics, Daniel? They were kind of like
Yeah,
falling off.
and you could also get on new graphics, and that was stupid. It's a stupid design. Like, why can't
Tell
you
us how you really feel, Daniel.
I feel like it's not gonna sell very good because of the stuff that the Legends Ultimate cabinet cannot do.
I have to agree with him. I did not like, and that's probably where that I was like, this is stupid. I did say that, and because the lady. So the backstory on this: the lady comes up to me. She's trying to give me a Sam's credit card, And I just want to check out the dang machine, right? I just want to see it and compare it. Daniel and I are like walking around it, and obviously because it's in the store, people are messing with the graphics. So for a first impression as a customer, I know what our AtGames is trying to do. It looked cheesy. I'm sorry, AtGames. It looked cheesy. It looked really bad.
Now, the one you saw at the store, did it have the plexiglass cover, or
it
just the
did
one with
not.
the
So
machine with the?
at that
Okay.
time, we
That's-
didn't know about the plexiglass.
So to me, I would have liked to have seen that 1.1 come, even if there was no artwork with it, come with the plexiglass sides, especially if you want to sell additional sides, which I think is a great idea. I mean, we talked about this way back when this first came out, that they would have some type of, almost like a, not a shrink-a-dink, but those vacuum forms
Hang-ons.
kind of stick
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
they
that's
stick on there.
what I was saying. Yeah.
But even if you did that, you need something to protect it. So I really wish, maybe they can still change in the future, that you included that side plexiglass, because to have it shipped, we've seen a lot of bad experiences with other companies shipping plexiglass, and it doesn't quite survive getting to the customers. So I would like to have seen that in there. Also, I haven't seen the machine yet. I know you guys have. You can say yes or no to this. It's almost like a hook system on there that holds it on. I would have liked to have seen at least at the top and the bottom magnets. A magnet will hold on a lot better and keep it flush on both sides. From the pictures I've seen, it's a little, Mad Little Pixel. He did a video of it, and I was surprised he gave a pretty good review. But he did notice that the artwork was a little flimsy or flappy at the bottom. A magnet would have been able to put it on and kind of pull it tight. So I do think it's a good attempt at a first run of it, but I think there's room for improvement, and I hope that they, AtGames just usually does these little improvements. I would have gone with plexiglass coming with it from buying the machine. I mean, spend that kind of money. The plexiglass should have come with it. It shouldn't be a $100 addition after the fact, especially if you want to sell artwork. Like if we had those machines, I'd buy different artwork and just, $50 a pop to slap on the different artwork. And at $50 a pop, the artwork I think is a bargain.
Yes.
But not how it's installed.
No, I agree with that. Doug, what's your thoughts on it? Initially seeing it, maybe seeing some of the reviews.
I mean, it's not for me personally. Obviously, I've already customized mine and put a complete graphic panel. I understand the concept behind it, the idea. Like said Glenn, I really like the idea of being able to interchange artwork. Just literally peel it off, peel it back on. Not have to be committed and dedicated to one single solitary artwork design or graphic that's like glued on there with your vinyl or something like that. But I like Glenn mentioned, I just don't like the way they executed way back when we first saw the original prototype for the Legends Ultimate. It had a traveling unit that had like a magnet system for their artwork. I thought that was super handy, and I think honestly that's the way they should have done this.
Well, and that's kind of what I was saying, kind of going along with what Glenn said. I thought, man, if they would have just painted it with like a slippery a slippery clear coat or slippery black finish,
Something slippery.
yeah, you could have gotten like those window clings. No, because we talked about this because my wife was there,
Right.
and he says like, Mom, like those graphics that you put on the window at Christmas time, and I started thinking about it. I'm like, that's not a bad idea. When he said that. Because you could add a little bit of water, use a squeegee. They're thick enough that you can use a squeegee on it, get them on.
No bubbles, no issue. Yeah.
And then you just throw the plexiglass over top of it. I think the paper, now, I don't know if the new graphics, and AtGames can correct us if we're wrong, but the ones that I felt in the store that came with it, they felt real papery. They didn't feel like a graphic.
All they did is feel like sandpaper mostly.
Yeah, he's right. It was thick like a sandpaper. It wasn't gritty like that. But yeah, he's right. It was like a thick sandpaper material.
And then all they did to make it worse is just graphics it.
Well, yeah, they put the images on it, right?
Yeah,
So
it made
Well,
it.
that kind of paper is probably being used by the way they're mounting it. I know what kind of paper you're talking about, so I get it why they went that route. But I just think that it was a great idea, just not executed the proper way. Again, even if you put magnets on, if you're charging $50 for the artwork like that, a little bit more money for a couple strips of magnets, and it would have worked out better, I think. Again, it's up to the consumer to buy them and make that determination himself. But I really do feel that the plexiglass should have been with the machine, because if that plexiglass was with the machine, the end user is more incentivized, if that's a word, or I just made it up, to buy the artwork and start, putting them in. If I have to buy the artwork and then buy that separately to make it look the right way, some people will do it. Don't get me wrong, they will.
Yeah.
But I just think it would have added to an easier way of adding artwork, which I think again is a good idea.
Well, and
Yeah.
and look at this comment here from Average Gamer. The clear clips, they make it look cheap, and the AtGames to me is a premium machine.
Yeah, you're
And-
spending $500 on it. You don't want to
Yeah.
cheapen it with some crummy installed graphics and some cheap plastic clips. I mean, that takes away from, the ambiance and the appeal of having this premium cabinet in your house.
And one of the things that we do on this show is we try to stay as unbiased as possible. And so please, companies, hear us. But guys, when I heard about the plexiglass sides, there was one thing that immediately came to my mind, and the debacle with the arcade 1-up deck protectors. And I hate to say it, but when they start shipping this out, even if it's 2 pieces, they're going to arrive broke. They're going to have exactly. And because it's not AtGames' fault. It's not Arcade 1-Up's fault. You don't have control over FedEx
Just
and
shipping.
UPS.
Nope.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
So you're
and
going to
we've
make people
seen
mad.
in plenty of videos how well they deliver things. We've seen plenty of videos of how they, especially something big and bulky. They toss them. They just do.
And that's what I'm afraid of. And I think the community is gonna. I get it. It's options. What's AtGames' tagline? It's better to have options than not. And I get it. I think.
Give me that. That's my tagline.
Oh, that's your
I
tagline.
borrowed
Okay,
it.
I'm sorry. But it's what everybody says with this now, right? So the Bubble Bobble, I thought it looked kind of cool, but again, I feel like I've done the graphics package. You both have done graphics packages. How much of the sides do you really see? Like, if I had to be completely honest, right, I would rather do graphics in the front. If you're going to do it all the way around. I mean, that's the right way to do it.
Well,
but I mean, I don't know. It just
I hear what you're saying, but realize most people don't do what we do. If someone's buying this machine as their machine for their family,
Right.
it could be just this one machine, in which case the sides will be exposed.
Fair enough.
And they're not going to be crazy like us. We buy everything under the sun,
Line them all up.
put
Yeah.
out there.
But it has to match that bezel because you got that Tron bezel, right? And how much
Right.
of those new designs, like the Operation Wolf, I could see. I think P-Dubs hit the nail on the head, and I hate to say that. I'm gonna give him the props. He hit the nail on the head, and he said Operation Wolf is probably the best that goes with everything else. Bubble Bobble, I really like that one. Honestly, I would probably get that one if I was gonna.
I hate Bubble Bobble. I mean,
Oh,
like,
I'm sorry. You're off the show.
I mean, like,
Toodles.
I don't
Nope, nope, nope,
really
nope.
like. I mean, like, I
You're
don't.
fired.
I don't like the song and the graphics.
Oh my God.
about it.
Oh.
You're just digging the hole deeper.
You're killing us here.
Whoa.
All right,
I think
there
I-
goes our audience. The audience is gone.
I think I
Excuse
like.
me. The express things of Daniel Haywood is not the express wording of the retro show.
Hey,
here,
I'm
okay?
just,
It's all
I'm
him.
just wasting you guys.
You're wasting us.
Wasted.
What do you mean by that?
The meme where you like waste someone.
Oh.
Oh, Grand Theft Auto? Is that the meme we're talking about? Like somebody gets crushed, they fall off a slide, and it has the Grand Theft Auto wasted text above them?
That's news to me. So sure, Doug, we'll go with that one.
Yeah, and also,
We'll go with-
I'm going to pretend I'm hip and I know what the kids are talking about. these
At
days.
least somebody does.
and also, I like Pong and Centipede better.
Oh, he just saved him.
I was gonna say he's just sucking up the Glen now with that
He's
one.
pandering now.
Yeah.
Hey, actually,
Leave the
no.
kid alone, guys. Leave the kid alone. He knows what he's talking about, right?
Actually, no Pong, but just Centipede.
Well, either way. Okay, so either way, I thought out of all the graphics packages, I know Glenn, you'd probably do the Space Invaders. I know you're big Space Invaders.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh, that looked nice. I did.
Doug, if
But
you,
again, I've also done the same thing where it's already sided up. But
yeah,
but you could still overlay it on top of it.
you could,
You could.
you could.
I'm just saying.
Doug, if you had to pick one of the three that they're showing, which one are you going with?
I'd go Operation Wolf.
P-Dubs.
I'm like you. What you mentioned though, I don't like the dead space up top.
Yeah.
Bubble Bobble's like neck and neck. I mean, it'd literally be a toss up. I'd be happy with either one of them. Space Invaders, I don't like the navy contrasting with the black and everything. It just, to me, it stood out too much. I did kind of like their old Tetris design that they were having floating around, in their old prototype days. So
I'm surprised they didn't
maybe
do
bring
that.
that back.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
surprised they didn't do that. That would have been cool, like having it fall down. PK, if you're
Yep.
watching, bring us Tetris. Give us Tetris.
P-Dubs
There you go.
is in the chat.
No, remember, I'm on a slight delay here, so I'll shut up.
Nope. Well, he was looking. Go ahead, say it.
So, there was this conversation with P-Dubs. So, he said, dudes, is it just me or is Daniel taking over the show? And he said, hashtag Daniel for president.
That's not a good thing. P-Dubs, please don't encourage the kid. And don't pound the table, because
And
that's
then
in
he
my
said,
headset.
yeah, buddy.
Oh, boy. All right, so with
Daniel's
that,
head is doot, 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 doot.
the other
It's not
thing...
going to fit in the window there.
Yeah.
The other thing is AtGames brought out the new firmware, and I know the Taito games, we had some issues last week. 70%, I could only get it on. I couldn't even get it on my gamer. I couldn't. I found out because P-Dubs and I did get it early because of doing the show, and it's part of our our negotiations with them. I found out that they broke my system restore on it with a firmware, so they're going to have to give me that. I can't do system restore on it. So I had to wait. So you all got your update to your Taito games before I did. I had to wait to 5.4 because mine was broke. I had it in 5.2, then I lost it in 5.3, and I finally got them back in 5.4. So everybody out there that wants to say, you guys are so lucky, you get your stuff earlier than us. Mine's been broke more than because I am beta testing, and that's what I signed up for, so it's not a knock. So before you go and slam us YouTubers, please know
Give
that
the
we are
man
we are-
a break.
It's
are
not an
breaking
easy
stuff.
life.
It's not.
It's not an easy life. And let's not forget something else here too. They're
Well-
having a contest, right?
Yes, let's talk about that. Go ahead, Glenn.
Let's talk about the contest, baby. Let's come on, you.
I still
and me.
say my pick is on Bobby
Music
Vu,
videos.
but go ahead.
Yo, I'm not going to get involved with it because I can't, because obviously,
You're under
I'm
NDA.
too involved with it. I'm on NDA, I can't. But Bobby, man, it's gonna be hard not to. There's other people out there. We know Bobby. He's gonna go clean like a mother, and he's gonna do something amazing out there. And who knows what it's gonna turn out to be. But I'm feeling a little bit like we have a game show going on here. Let's do the X's. Whether we
Yes.
should be doing it live. PK, we should be doing who wins that live here on the show. We're putting it out there right now. We'll do. We'll be the judges here, and we'll give the X's or we'll give the thumbs up. Just putting it out there, PK.
Well, I was even saying on the show, I was like, we should call it Pimp My Legends or Pimp My Arcade. We're not as cool as what was his name? Come on, Doug, help us out here.
Richie's?
No, the guy that
What's
hosted
the-
Pimp My Ride. Who was it? It was he was some rapper.
Oh, Exhibit.
Exhibit. We're not as cool as Exhibit, but
Exhibit A. There we go.
we've got
Exhibit A, right?
We've got Exhibit Glenn.
No,
Yeah.
no, and then Exhibit D, aka Exhibit Doug.
Oh, Double D.
But I think the contest itself is a pretty good idea, and that's once again AtGames engaging the community, which
Yes.
is awesome that they're doing that.
No, they were totally. I think it's awesome, and I'm gonna throw this out there to everybody. I know my lane. I'm not gonna enter in it because I would take one of those boards and probably throw it in an arcade one up and call it a day, and figure out how it would work. I'm not a modder. I don't pretend to be. I wait for people to do it. I follow their videos and I do it.
You would be happy if
But
you were a modder.
I want a Legends handheld, a Legends Ultimate handheld, and if you do come out with one, I think it needs to be renamed to the Legends Gamer and rename the Gamer to something else. But the handheld, I'm putting it out there. Somebody needs to do it, and somebody needs to make the
call it
prototype.
the Gamer Gear.
The
You're like
Gamer
Sega.
Gear.
Call it
Oh,
the Gamer Gear.
You hear where I'm going with that.
The
So-
Game Gear.
So, Glenn, if
Oh,
you're
I
going to
know.
do it, do a handheld, because I think if somebody can do a handheld right, maybe AtGames will put out a handheld. Guys out there, how would you like to have a Legends handheld that does everything, where you could play it on there just like you do the Switch? You could set it down and continue your game right on the Legends Gamer or the Legends Ultimate. That would be really cool, wouldn't it?
Man, we're giving them $1 million ideas here. We're getting on Shark Tank.
I'm just saying. I'm throwing it out there. That was what I would like to see. Everybody's going to try to do an arcade, but somebody do a handheld. If you do a handheld, I will, nothing against you, Bobby Boo, and I hope you do it. I will actually say that I would vote for that because I want a handheld. I do. So that's my selfish plea.
It is doable. It is so doable. Just saying.
I'm telling you.
Maybe you should just scrap the gamer in pieces and then just make a handheld out of it. Just put on the screen and
well,
and,
I can't participate, right? So
right.
Average gamer out there saying, "Hey, Buzz is giving out ideas." Listen, I am throwing out ideas. The rest of us could throw out ideas because we can't participate.
Yeah, we can't do it.
So I'm telling you, everybody on this panel would probably vote for you if you do a handheld.
So
I'm just saying.
So not on context of like all this, but a while ago in chat, P-Dubs actually said,
"Don't entertain P-Dubs."
Hashtag
What are you doing? This is
buzzkill.
not the P-Dub show.
No.
What are you doing here, Daniel?
Hashtag
What's going on?
buzzkill. And then he also said hashtag cancel CoolToy.
But that's
we go.
okay. So the Buzzkill thing, that's his wrestling name for me that he brought up on the Last Legends Center. So that's where that came with. Yeah, so just roll with it.
And also hashtag cancel CoolToy.
So okay, so
That's
Glenn,
just sound advice.
Glenn, talk about the prizes because that's one thing we didn't really get into. We said this contest. What can you win? That's the cool part.
Yeah.
You win a date with me, so hopefully you're a lady.
You don't have the time. You've got all your
no.
days packed.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
But you get to win.
Future date to be announced.
But we have to say one thing too. Not only will they, the contest has the unit, but they have $300 to help build the device.
Right.
Right.
Yep. That's your.
So they're actually really trying to engage some people here with a unit and $300 to help build this portable device.
Hint.
The gear.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, the prizes, I think, they announced them. I thought it was not announced yet what they were.
Oh, no, it was announced.
Grand prize was announced.
Oh, maybe you didn't know. I'm out of it. I'm old, man. I got Alzheimer's. I forgot.
Oh, yeah. Were
Grand
you
prize
married
is,
to...
the new virtual pinball machine from AtGames.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it looks like, too, I apologize, it looks like Facebook is having issues. So if you guys are watching or getting intermittent, come on over to the YouTube channel or Twitch. Facebook, for some reason, is
Putin's
showing...
on there. Putin's trying to block our show, I'm telling you.
Well, Facebook's been having issues with live lately. I've seen it on other shows, not just this show, so I don't know what it is. But the pinball. And a lot of people, I've seen some videos come out, and I'm not going to call out those particular people because I don't want them to feel bad. They put out their opinion, and they're allowed to do that. But I have good resources to let you guys know that the pinball is coming this year, and it's going to be coming before the end of the year. And so I've got it on good authority that it's coming. No, it's even going to be before that. So I'm telling you guys, you're going to start seeing some things ramp up. And I know a lot of people are like, hey, just like with Toy Shock, it's been crickets,
quiet,
and I'm telling you guys, and even Arcade 1-Up, pinball's coming. Just be patient. It's coming. So, yeah, I'm thinking if I had to put money on it, if I was a betting man, sometime in November we're gonna get it. So we're gonna get the iircade in November. We're gonna get, and they haven't given me dates, so I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'm saying November we're gonna get AtGames pinball, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Arcade 1-Up. We're gonna get their pinball in November. I think you're right, Doug. I think that's.
Yep.
I think if you guys were betting men, that's what you would do.
Graphics on it.
Yes.
Hopefully with fixed graphics on that Star Wars cap.
Yeah, I mean, and potentially some other fixes. You never know.
Potentially.
Yep.
As long as I'm not fixed, that's all that matters.
Well, I did hear there was a Kathleen Kennedy special that's being reserved just for Glenn.
Signed.
Scott was telling me,
Yep.
he was wanted to do something special for Glenn. And
The
so
red lipstick edition.
You know what?
John D
I'm
went
putting it out there right now.
out for that.
I'm going to put it out there right now. If Scott can get Kathleen Kennedy to call me, I'd be more than happy to take her out to dinner and have a discussion. I would do it in a second.
You hear that, Daniel?
Throw
He
you
wants to
out there.
take.
Glenn would even pay for half of the dinner.
I would. The good half. She could take the 7, 8, 9 half.
Hear that,
There you
Daniel?
go.
He wants to take Kathleen Kennedy out. You were right.
I will take her out. I'm putting it out there. I will take one
Yeah.
I will take one for the community team to go out with her
Whoa.
and discuss everything. I would do
Oh
it.
my. Oh my.
And I'll do it live. Boom.
That ought to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Dad, you owe me $10.
He did. He's been telling me. He's like, let me guess, Glenn's going out with Kathleen Kennedy again tonight.
Yep.
All right,
Now
so
you know.
Flying in that corporate jet.
you guys got the
Mhm.
ideas. We want to see a handhelds. Listen, everybody's been building arcades. Let's do something really radical. Somebody actually
Right.
said a picture frame style one that you could make as part of your room decor. Start thinking outside the box, you modders out there.
Yep.
Think of ways that you can do it to where it's not been seen or done before, no matter how crazy or how radical it sounds. That's what's going to win you this
Gaming
contest.
mirror. Do
The-
a gaming mirror.
I'm telling you.
Put it in, put it in there in front of the wife doesn't know it's there. Next thing Pac-Man comes up on her
Think
screen.
outside your box. Don't say, "Oh, I'm going to build an arcade and it's going to be 3/4
Right.
scale and I'm going to throw this in there."
Everyone's doing that.
Everybody's
Yep.
do something outside the box. Think about it. Think about, I'm going to take Jong's word, the experience. Give us the experience, the handheld. Maybe you mix Atari Lynx with the Switch with the Game Gear and you give us one killer handheld. I'm telling you, somebody that does a handheld, I think you're going to win it. I'm telling you. And if you have a bunch of you guys, that's going to even be better. I don't know. I just have that feeling. A handheld's going to dominate this. That's my 2 cents
Maybe.
on it.
We'll have to see what they do.
Yeah.
And sticking with age, there's also some Atari news in the news. Shocker.
Yeah. Crazy.
For anyone-
dude.
For anyone who actually put money down on the Atari VCS, supposedly a couple are being sent out to people. To make a nice
Without
paperweight or a doorstop
games.
to somebody.
Without games.
Yeah, no games, no nothing. no.
Yeah.
No. With
What is that?
technology that's like 4 years out of date. But
Yeah, I was
and you know
gonna
what? You guys. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, CoolToy.
I was just gonna say, was it 3-4 years after they took their money? So like this
Yeah,
is
so I think it's about 3.5, 4 years. And what
ooh.
gets me is you guys know I love Atari. You guys
Mm-hmm.
know I love Atari. But man, this is absolute BS. This console from inception to now, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Well, VCS stands for what? Very crappy system, right?
Seems to be the case at this
Yeah.
point.
Hey, Glenn.
No,
And it's a shame.
I mean, I've got
Shame.
I've got hopes for it that it does something. I personally wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, especially with that whole they took your money 4 years ago and you're just now possibly getting something tangible. Like what do we see? A picture of maybe 800 total units or something like that. I mean, that's
What's interesting is I know for a fact that ETA Prime pre-ordered it. So ETA
Mhm.
Prime is going to get one, and I'm dying to see what he has to say about it. And I feel bad. I really do feel bad because the initial concept of something like that coming out was cool, but man, it was such a shell game, an absolute
Yep.
shell game.
I'm just glad that somebody is finally getting something out of it, and it's not 100% vaporware. That doesn't mean to say that the other however many people that backed this and pre-ordered this aren't going to get screwed somehow, some way, some shape or form. But not everybody, at least. I mean, there's hope for some.
But how do
I think they
you?
raised over $3 million initially on
Oh dear God!
the project.
But
Yeah, I think it was like $3 million.
But how do you
Ugh.
justify sending this out to people without any games? Like, how are you gonna? You're just getting a system. Like
What's interesting is, they showed off like a Tempest. I'm not sure what version of Tempest. They're showing Tempest in their promos, and it wasn't even on the machine, the hardware. And the developer goes, "I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I never made that game for this machine." So, it's just such a sham and shell game, and it's really disappointing that Atari came out and did it. The community bad. They did them wrong. Did them dirty. And I am never like this, but it was such a blatant cash grab. And honestly, I don't think anything was going to come out. I think simply because so much attention's been drawn to it that the government and everyone else is like watching them. They have to come out with something because so much time has gone by, and they're really just getting a box that was vacuum, plastic vacuum formed with a board in there that the developer even left, saying he wasn't getting paid. So I'm dying to see what this comes out with. I don't know. It's just such a disappointment, and I feel bad for the people who did it.
So did any of you guys pre-order it? I know that was the one we were looking at earlier. I think last
What do you
time.
mean?
That was the one that looked like the Wii.
What are you talking about?
Well, it looks like we have Nathan here, Henderson, in the chat, who says he did pre-order it. So I guess we'll see. Maybe he'll come and tell us about it. But you know, the Intellivision Amico looks to be a better overall design system. Like that machine, I think technology-wise, is pretty cool. Again, I don't know how well these older game systems are going to do in the world of, you know, the new Xbox, the new PlayStation, you know, the Switch. These are going to be very niche things. Like recently, there was if you guys don't know about it, it was called the Atari Phoenix. I'm not the Atari Phoenix, sorry, the ColecoVision Phoenix, where the ColecoVision recreated an FPGA. You know, it did pretty well.
Right.
But it's just these old consoles, the newer generation of people just really not that into it. It's all about one thing. With any of these, it's all about the games, right? And there's just so many ways to play these type of games on so many of the platforms that why would you go for them when you can play it on a Switch or you can play it on a, you know, PlayStation 5, these classic games. It's just a shame.
Well, I think it's the collecting aspect of it too, right? Everybody wants in that mindset right now. Everybody's buying every system, you know, every arcade or whatever, right?
Pokemon, they gotta have them all, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's the FOMO, right?
Yeah. Well, plus it's that nostalgia of having, you know, and seeing the Atari name and the wood grain, if you got that model, things like that. You know, there's some attractive things to older collectors about it, but it's just, this was hopefully, you know, what everyone was, you know, hoping and leaning towards, that maybe he was going to bring Atari back out of, you know, the ground, and all it did was solidify their place in the cemetery.
Exactly.
And how do you charge more for the wood grain?
I,
That was the whole big point of it. And it's an additional special edition. Come on, Atari.
I mean,
really?
that's just a cash grab. They knew people wanted that wood grain for that nostalgia factor, but the fact that they, you know, money grabbed it, bad taste in your mouth instantly.
All you got to do, if everyone bought the one, like the Beta version, all black, go to, you know, Walmart and buy the press-on wood grain look and just slap that on yourself.
Yep.
I'm really upset about it. I'm upset about this whole thing because Atari as a brand, you know, it's getting more and more drugged through the mud. Yeah, it's just so bad. I mean, we were talking. I was on Rex's show, and Doug was too. We were on the show, and we were talking about, you know, the most iconic consoles. The thing.
I was supposed to be on
Odyssey,
but I had I had a birthday party I had to go to, and when he told me I had to partner with P-Dubs, I said I'm out.
Yep.
I might as well just say I lost and just we're not worthy.
Well, the thing is, for me, just these older systems, they're not the most like the original Odyssey was not a great gaming console, but it was the first console. And the Fairchild Channel left, it wasn't a great console. It wasn't too bad, but it was the first cartridge-based console. And it's just those things those are the things I want to keep alive. When you hear Atari, there is a certain amount of nostalgic value with the company, but each time they're coming back lately, it's just like, man, how many more times can you poop in your own face and on the community? It's just bad. Take your time, make something halfway decent, and come out with it. If you've only got 3 people in the company doing something, take your time, do it right. Don't come out with this garbageware and just expect, you know, the nostalgia for us to buy it and then get totally like screwed over when we do. And that console is a screw over to every single person who backed you on it, because it really is nothing more than a Linux box and a nice case. And that's not what you touted it to be. There's no, you know, like a gaming store down. It's just such garbageware. And I'm embarrassed at times to say the Atari name, that I'm a backer of the company back of the 70s, because what it is today is complete. Sorry, I'm doing one of my rants. It is complete garbage you're putting out there, and it's a shame. It's a shame.
Whoa. I thought you said you loved Atari.
I do.
Well, why are you talking trash about Atari?
Because Atari today is not Atari back then. It's been sold off so many times that it's like,
show Atari some love.
You got to understand, Daniel, this is like the whole thing he does with Star Wars too. Star Wars today is not like Star Wars then. It's
not.
You're just
even Tyson Chicken. Tyson Chicken Nuggets today is not Tyson
my
Chicken
God.
Nuggets.
Are we really gonna go here?
It's totally different.
Just
totally different.
You're taking it too far.
Well, let's kind of let's get off of this. Let's talk about a little bit of good news. Doug, you told us earlier that there's some news in the iircade camp with the FCC, right?
Yeah, so they've went ahead and they've passed their initial inspection with the FCC, both in the United States and Canada. So things are moving right along, and that's the major biggest hurdle you have to really cross before you start actually getting your products into consumers' hands. So not too far off from actually having our first arcade. I always mess it up. Too many I's. arcade units being shipped out. In the near future, the next month and a half.
Right. And they did a great job. I mean, we had them on the show, we were talking to them, and I did a Kickstarter too, and it's not easy. And they just blew everyone away with it. I mean, it was a great price for the Kickstarter, which I'm sure helped.
Yep.
But they really did a fantastic job, and they've been very engaged with the community. I know they've been having a lot of shows with P-Dubs, Arcade Loft, and the
weekly streams on Facebook.
Right, exactly. They're very engaged with the community, and that's the key, really. If you're going to be doing something like this, engaging the community is key, and they've been doing a fantastic job. And I take my hat off to them. I got the shirt on. I'm giving the kudos to them. I got the shirt on. They did it right, and so far, I think they're doing a fantastic job. And I take my hat off, but I don't want to blind you guys with my baldness.
Yeah, let's not do that.
And Jong actually shared a couple of interesting statistics and facts on today's live stream when he was talking about their backer kit surveys and everything as far as the stats and the demographics of people who purchased it. So if you guys had to guess, so first of all, we know there was 3 different versions. There was the black version, the Double Dragon version, the Dragon's Lair version, and then the standard version. Which one do you guys think sold the most?
I'm gonna say that the Black Series sold the most.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna say. I must
Glenn,
have missed that part.
I'm kind of agreeing with him on that one. Are we wrong?
Yeah, it was literally dead down the middle, all 3 of them. It was like a 33%
Really
split for all 3 of them. Yeah, I thought that was really interesting.
Wow, because he did show it off today. That's when I tuned in. After I usually wait till after he does all his hellos, and I tuned in, and I'll tell you, the Black Series looks pretty sharp. Like if I was going to get one, that would be the one to get. He did have the Double Dragon graphics on it, but which I didn't really care. Like that didn't really bother me, but the Black Series really stood out to me. That I thought that looked really sharp, and the beat 'em up game he showed was good.
I was saying with the arcade one up, the cocktail table they did, when it had the black edition.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yep.
Black makes everything look better.
Well,
and he also had another.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say he had another statistic where he said 82% of the people that did back the Kickstarter backed it with the stand, and there was only 18% of the people that just went with a standard bar top. So I thought that was kind of telling of how people enjoy and prefer to play their games. Preferably, typically in a standing, standard arcade format where you're not, sitting at a bar or whatever. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
See, if I got one though, I would. I don't know if I would get the stand if I had to buy it outright, because I have the bar here and I've got the arcade one here, and people come up and stand. It kind of works like a stand. I would probably put the iircade up there like that, but most people don't have a bar like I have sitting here, so it's not at the right height.
That bar top I would have liked to have seen with kind of what did like arcade one up, where it could have been like a wallcade, like the party cade. Have something on the back where you could have the option, because to be honest, take up a desk or your bar with it. It'd be easier to put on a wall, get it at the right height, and mount it there. But personally, I think it only looks at its best when it does have its stand on it. Same thing with the Neo Geo unit. I mean, it's fine, but it really comes out and shines when it's on that stand.
Yep, the whole package.
Right. And get it, ladies, get the whole package right here.
And he did show some pretty nice. Some pretty nice games today. I did see that. The one beat 'em up I was pretty interested in. I thought it was a really nice game to go forward on. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but we're going to take a quick break because we want to give a shout out to one of our new sponsors that we have here at the show. And we get a little break in between here. But another company that's doing a Kickstarter, that when iircade did it, everybody kind of, including myself, was kind of like, really? A major company's doing a Kickstarter? There's another company that's doing a Kickstarter, and they're very well known, and we're going to talk about that when we come back. So stay with us. We'll be right back right after this. So there you guys have it. Mr. Angel, he has been doing this for quite some time. In fact, he just shipped me, if you didn't see the picture, go to my Instagram, shipped me the Miss Pac-Man one for the countercades. He's doing countercade ones as well right now. So I know just about everybody here on the panel, we have his marquees in our arcade, and so we highly recommend them. Angel's,
Good stuff.
getting them
High
out
quality.
to you. Very high quality. So
His ability is your ability.
there you
There
go,
you go. Like
Angel.
that.
Trademark that.
Catchphrase. Boom.
So let's talk a little bit about Arcade 1-Up. So Arcade 1-Up made an
Mhm.
announcement last week. Because we didn't have the show, we really didn't get a chance to talk about it, and we wanted to kind of bring this up. And no, this isn't an Avengers, but it is kind of like the Avengers. It's the Infinity Game Table. And guys, I wanted to see what your thoughts of. They're doing a Kickstarter for this.
Mhm.
And some people were kind of like, I don't know. I think this is a cool idea, and I plan on getting this because, if at all, it just makes a really cool coffee table with board games.
Yep. And the wife can't say get out of here because
It's functional furniture.
It's functional
That's
furniture.
it.
And you
this is a great idea. This is a friggin' great idea.
I don't know if you guys were
Absolutely.
into Risk, but like my uncles used to play Risk every New Year's Eve. And could you see playing like Risk on this? Or I know they show Monopoly, or even probably some kids games like Chutes and Ladders and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think? Here, I'm gonna play this video real quick with Scott. I know he won't ding us with copyright, so I think we'll be all right.
Yeah.
But just so
You know,
you guys
I like
can
the
kinda
idea.
see.
I think it's great. There's been a couple other companies that have tried to kind of get something similar to this off the ground, with not a whole lot of luck. There's definitely an audience for this, and the fact that they're going to Kickstarter, a lot of people are like, why would they go to Kickstarter? They're, a prominent company. They don't need Kickstarter type of backing. But honestly, Kickstarter is where all these self-made board games actually go to get funded. So that's naturally a good fit for them to go to Kickstarter and already find that, board gaming audience out there. So I think that's kind of a smart move on Arcade 1-Up's part to go to Kickstarter and kind of tap into that board game audience naturally.
And I see that there's two different table sizes here that you can get.
Mhm.
You can get the 24-inch or the 32-inch. I'll go 32-inch. I'm gonna go
Size
bigger.
matters,
Yeah.
man. You
Go
want
big or go
32.
home.
Well, you
Yeah.
think about it. It's a board game, right? So you're gonna want like,
Mhm.
Right.
and I like that it has the detachable legs, so you could put it on a regular table if you wanted to. And I like that feature. So even if I didn't want it down here, I could see that being up in my living room area, and my wife would be okay with that. Having having something like that go on. So I don't know. I'm pretty on board with that. Going forward.
Same. I think Scott and his team, I think this was a great idea. And like Doug
Mhm.
said before, this is not the first time someone has tried to make one of these, come out with it. But Arcade 1-Up's got a pretty good track record. And again, I understand why they're doing it on Kickstarter as well. So I think it's a good idea. I think that the concept of it is not original. There's been other people doing it, but Arcade 1-Up may be able to get it more to the forefront. And I am definitely on board with it. Board games in the traditional sense are kind of like faded out. I mean, trying to get my son to play a board game is kind of hard to do. And having on the TV set, I mean, yeah, there's games like Monopoly you could play on NES or stuff like that. This is more combining the two. It's electronic, but it's also kind of tactile. You're engaged on this table. You're going down. It's touchscreen. I like the interactive parts of it. I'm looking forward to this a lot. So I take my hat off to Scott. This is a great idea to come out with.
Yeah, there'll be some interesting things to find out in the future. Some specific details that I'd kind of curious myself about, because things like Battleship and Scrabble, things that have secrecy built into the game, like we don't really know how that functions, because obviously if you're all huddled around the Infinity Game Table and you're trying to play Battleship, it doesn't really make sense that the other person could clearly see where your battleship is. So it'll be interesting to kind of find out how those games work. But
Right.
I was impressed.
I'm gonna bet Bluetooth to your phone. Using a couple of your phones, you connect with over
That could-
Bluetooth, use it as a secondary screen. And
There
if
you
not,
go,
Scott, it's a great
Glenn.
idea. Call me.
So, so right now they have Hasbro's Monopoly, Scrabble, Trivial Pursuit, Chutes and Ladders, Candyland, Yahtzee, puzzle card games, coloring books, mini games, comic books, and many other licensed and indie games. to be announced in the near future. So it sounds like it's going to be running like an Android-based operating system where you're going to have access to a store, which I'm okay with. You know,
Makes
I'm not.
sense.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense.
But
I mean, especially from a cost perspective, because things like the Lenovo tablet and other things, those
Yes.
are, you know, $1,000, $1,500 because they're running PC architecture and hardware inside. Like, if you want to get the cost down to an affordable level, you almost got to be running off of the Android and have access to the Google Store and Android Store for those downloadable apps and content and games and things like that.
well, and that's it. Like
Right.
Uno would be great. Like you said, Battleship. Like
Mhm.
having that 3D shoots and ladders. The
And
games
those
that
are
you
all
play with
major
kids.
title board
Yes.
games. Like, this isn't just like a
Right.
bunch of random games you've never heard of. Those are top tier licenses. So that's something Arcade
Right.
One Up has always excelled at, is getting the top tier brands and licenses at their fingertips. So where other companies have failed to kind of get similar ideas off the ground, a lot of it has to do with, you know, the lack of games and things like that that were already built into this. Arcade One Up's coming in strong with these, you know, first party Hasbro and Parker Brothers titles.
So
Yep. And I'd like to see
Wait.
like Simon. You could do something like
Simon
that
would
too,
be
you know?
cool. And
Yeah.
actually, Daniel, there is a question here for you, and I'm going to pot it up here on the screen here so
There's
you can actually see it.
also one thing too that I'm gonna mention from Eminem. She said no Mousetrap Man.
Mousetrap would be a good game. No,
Yeah.
you're absolutely
Well,
right.
see that.
Would be.
See, that's
Did you
where
see
I
what they did
disagree.
to it though?
Well, it'd be tough to get the
It's-
experience. I get it.
Wait,
Yeah.
so
Because
Daniel.
that's
Yeah,
one of
it
those
is.
things,
Hang
like
on, just
with
wait.
virtual pinball, obviously this isn't going to be for everybody. Somebody's going to want that tactile, physical, I feel it, I move it type of thing.
Yeah.
Mousetrap is a prime example for me. Like, that game you can't replicate to me digitally and have the same experience. Like, I got to
Oh.
spend 15 minutes putting the guy, bouncing him on, you know, the diving board. I got to have this, and I want.
I would.
I
Have
can
you
play
seen,
Monopoly, I can play
Doug?
Scrabble, I can play
Like
Battleship.
the Game of Life would
digitally,
be
but I
good.
can't play Mousetrap.
The Game
Yeah.
of Life
It would
be
but
good.
wait, have you seen what they did to Mousetrap?
Yeah,
have
it's
you
not the
got
same
this
as it
store-
was when we were
They
kids.
destroyed
Yeah,
it.
it's not.
So I will
Okay, well
totally
then-
take Mousetrap on this because they destroyed that game. Don't
I
talk
haven't
to
seen
the
the
drink
new
'em.
version.
So Daniel,
I haven't knew.
Nathan Henderson says, Daniel, does this interest you? Curious about your age group interest, and that is a good question. Because you can play board games. I don't know. You were fixing your headset. His headset fell off.
Yeah, it's
when I
mine.
played the video, you did see that, right? With the table that you can play board
Um,
games on. Does that interest you?
Well, yeah, because mostly it decorates the house, but
But would you play games on it?
yes, I would actually, because we have like the Candyland in real life and now the Candyland on like a virtual thing, and it's like a good way to have fun if like a group of people are like at your house and you don't have any board games. You could just buy the table and basically have a fun night.
Well, and you were playing with Mom the other night. You were playing the Monopoly
no,
with a
Fortnite edition.
Fortnite edition Monopoly. So
It's
how would you
way-
like to play it on here, though?
I would actually enjoy that better than like the actual box
See,
game because
okay.
it's more fun virtual and
it's
like
what they're
you don't
used to.
and you don't have to
Yeah.
put it away or nothing.
That's true.
Yeah.
I want to know how easy this table is to flip over and get pissed off when you lose a Monopoly. I mean, there's less cleanup involved.
Yeah, you'll
I'm done. The rage
Well,
quit.
Boom.
You know what? And Average Gamer says, and there's no space to take up. He's absolutely right. I mean, that's another thing. Like, you could have all these board games, like Daniel said, and if friends come over and like, hey, do you want to play this game? And he's like, oh, hang on, I can just download it. That's game
You
changer
don't have a
right
closet
there.
full of boxes.
and you don't even have to charge anything.
Yeah,
All it is
right,
You don't have to
so
worry
let's
about people
talk-
losing the pieces and
Let's
little
talk
bits
price
and-
point. I heard under $500. Somebody said between $300 and $500. Obviously, bigger screen, more cost.
Mhm.
To get it in somebody's house
Hopefully a
at
glass top on that.
$300 to get it in somebody's house. That's insane.
Why would anyone
had-
charge someone to bring some?
No.
dumb
What
thing
I'm
in
saying
the
is,
house?
$300 to buy it. That's cheap.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, I have like $300 maybe.
Okay, so Daniel's buying it.
Do you?
You all heard that,
He's
right?
loaded. Yeah.
I said
buying it.
maybe,
Oh, okay.
but I still will.
So, Doug, I mean, you and I grew up in the generation that we played these board games. Glenn,
Absolutely,
he
yeah.
made them out of wood. So I had to throw that.
Played him in his log cabin. Yeah.
But no, I'm saying that you collect certain board games, right? You have certain ones that you've collected.
I've got several.
How does that make you feel as a collector of board games? Does it kind of fall into Glenn's area when he says, no, you don't want digital. You don't want digital games. You want physical games. And I'm not poo-pooing it because I'm with him.
Poo-poo.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm 50-50. Like I said, the majority of these games, I'm all for having that experience of huddled around, playing them digitally. There's just certain little particular ones, like Mousetrap specifically is the one I mentioned earlier. I don't see myself having fun with that virtual experience with it. Like it would have to be some off the top 3D type of animations going on to keep me engaged for a game like that. But Monopoly, Scrabble, even Battleship, things like that, I think those are perfectly suited for that digital virtual experience. So I'm okay with it. And I honestly, I like the having best of both worlds. Like I can still pull out my tactile physical board games if I want to have that real true to form old school experience, and I can do this, and there's less setup and cleanup and all that type of thing. I don't have to worry about losing the car or the shoe on the Monopoly and going, dang it, who's got the dog piece or something like that. Like I don't have to keep track of all those little bits and pieces and go on eBay and pay somebody $5 shipping to get some replacement part.
I'm more excited about this than I have been about any of the arcade one-up cabinets that have been launched and announced in the last year. And arcade one-up, that's not
Even
a slam.
Double Dribble?
Even Double Dribble. That's not a slam against you guys. I'm just saying this is game changer. In my opinion, this is another functional furniture piece that I can't wait for. I think this is going to be awesome.
It's probably more so because it's a totally new type of product where they were coming out with cabinets. It's just a totally new product, and it kind of came out of nowhere to a point. But like you said, it's got some more possibilities, and it's something that would probably get more people in the household, including the wives, who are not maybe into gaming, engaged into something like this, because it's a board game that you can sit down and enjoy.
Well,
so let's put this up here real quick before we get on to the next subject, because we're going to have to wrap up soon, but I know there's some other topics we want to hit real quick. Nostalgia said the touch experience will be the death of it if it's not on, and I tend to, and I'm paraphrasing here, you guys can read it on the screen. I tend to agree with that, but I think most touchscreen experiences so far that I've seen, even the cheap Android devices, and when I say cheap, like
pretty good.
under $50, they've been really good. They have been, and we've had a bunch of them. You have one in the car that you on the screen on the
oh yeah.
It's a DVD player. When they were kids, they had DVD players, but I bought an Android touchscreen 8-inch monitor that both the kids have. So,
but it's battery powered, obviously.
Well, and we should charge it, but you have never complained to me and said, "Oh, it's not touching when I'm touching it." And so, I mean, even those they've been pretty good, right?
But I got a thing for like the board game thing. So dang it.
You forgot? That's all right. We'll come back to you. But so the 40-year-old gamer says, I think it should be at least 50 inches with social distancing these days.
That's what she said.
So, yeah, I know, I remember. So it's a good decoration and a fun place to be, or like, you don't have to buy like any physical games because it's already downloaded on there. So that's a saved money bank account.
Well, let's we gotta have to roll here with a little bit of this stuff, but real quick, let's answer this. Mike says, my brother York Hawk Hertz asks what you guys think of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles AtGames pinball machine that has leaked. That is not true. It is false. It's fake. Don't believe it. Nobody's got pictures of it. Nobody has.
Right.
What?
You say that.
What?
I've got it right here.
Oh! Oh, busted.
Yeah.
Busted.
Thanks, Doug.
The first prototype working AtGames Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
1/10 scale.
Oh, Doug. You always have to make me
You
wrong.
can only find it here. Anybody else that tells you it's elsewhere, they're wrong.
They're wrong.
It's right.
How's the haptic feedback on it, Doug? How's the haptic feedback?
It's giving me some trouble right now because apparently I need to change the batteries. But yeah.
Hey, Doug, you just
Plays like a dream. Plays like a dream.
You just did something to my dad, which is really good.
Yeah,
you just wasted him.
Well, so I assure you, nobody has any leaked pictures because, like I said, I have it on good authority. that things are coming. But I saw those. What was it? A couple months ago, they were floating around the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They would be really cool, but I think it comes down to licensing and everything like that.
He already has the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cabinet over there.
Well,
so.
this is a different company, but still, it's coming down to licensing.
Why can't the same company just make the
Yeah, if anyone
pinball?
does want that one, it's a Super Impulse. You can go buy that at, I'm pretty sure they still have them at Walmart. Super Impulse,
Walmart, Amazon.
Tiny Arcade Pinball.
Yeah, you can get them.
It's fun little thing.
Action figures, so I love them.
Yeah, you can put it up with that.
They're fun.
So, Glenn, there's
But
something.
going back to,
Yep. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Doug.
I'm gonna say, going back to the Infinity game table, what do you guys think price point? So we got 2 different sizes. You guys got an idea, ballpark? Because we're just playing the guessing game.
I'm gonna say
we'll
I'm gonna say $329. I'm gonna say $329 for the 24-inch, and I'm gonna say $449 for the 32-inch. That seems to be the magic number that Arcade 1-Up seems to stick to, or I might even go to $299 for the 24-inch, but it's a new product.
Oh, $9.99. Said.
I don't know.
$199.
They won't keep it in stock at $199.
No.
$4.99, 24, and
$329 and $449. That's my idea.
$329 and $4.
Because you want to keep it under. You want to keep it under 500 because
that's
then you
right.
go into that luxury item. So $449 is your selling point. $329 probably for that 24-inch.
Someone in chat said $4.99, 24, and $5.99, 32.
I don't know. That seems too steep. That seems steep. That's like pinballs.
It would need to have was it the buzzing? When you actually do the touch screen and you get that vibration. It would need to have all the bells and whistles to really draw that price point, I think, or at least earn that price point. Let me put it that way.
Glenn, what's your thinking? Since you build a lot of this stuff, I mean,
Wait,
what do you think?
Actually builds?
I'm gonna go with the price you're right mentality. I'm gonna say $326 and $450.
So you agree though that price point we got to kind of stay in that price point.
You do. I mean, it's also kind of niche as far as it's something you'd want to buy for your family, but it's not like it's a Pac-Man machine or an Asteroids or Star Wars arcade machine. It's a little more niche for the family kind of thing. So they have to kind of price it as well. It's not like you're getting nice artwork around it.
But
it's a cool concept. I think it's fun.
But let's say this
though.
To
price it right.
We're saying retail. They could come out and say $199 for Kickstarter backers, or they could say $249 for Kickstarter. I would definitely jump on that. So please keep that in mind. What we're talking about here is
I would buy 50.
We're saying retail. We're saying once it gets to Walmart after the Kickstarters and everything, it's strictly retail. That's what we're saying price wise. So
And what's also good about the Kickstarter is to kind of judge. You're going to kind of judge what the interest is in a product. So for a company like that has these great ideas, we don't want to necessarily risk full production. This is what you do. So it's a smart idea.
But we're all Arcade 1-Up fans as well as other company fans. Like, if AtGames has been on a roll with a lot of their stuff, most people now, they've gotten the faith back AtGames from people. They're going to buy something that they're going to put out. Same with Arcade and 1-Up. They've been tried and true. People are going to buy it. And that was the hard part that I had with iircade, and I told them that. I'm just being honest with them, and that was because I got burned with Toy Shock. I took the plunge. I was one that took the plunge. P-Dubs took it.
You got electrocuted by Toy Shock.
It's one of those things. So hopefully they redeem themselves. But my point is with this, I am ready to jump. You guys know I don't jump into Kickstarters. I'm ready to pull it on this one. And I think it's going to be
you'll pre-order in 2 seconds. You won't back a Kickstarter, but you'll pre-order something in 2 seconds.
That's right.
Glenn, that's you.
Well, speaking of which, and I want to get to this because we're going to have to wrap this.
I got you a segue right there.
So I pre-ordered thanks to Doug. Doug was kind enough to send me the links because he always costs me money. He sent me the links before he put it out on social media for the Mario and Luigi of the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, yes, I'm so excited about that.
He didn't find out for a couple weeks, so I have that coming on the 16th, so we'll shoot some video. We'll show it.
The 16th of what?
Of October. So that there, Doug, Doug was worth it, right? Just sharing that link.
Yeah,
so I pre-ordered Mario and Luigi, and we have a dining room that's pretty big, so I'm going to set the track up to go around the table. Maybe under some of the chairs and stuff.
Go in the kitchen.
Well, you and I can race it on our Switches, and we'll do some video and show it.
Oh, and so is Mom.
So Doug sent it to us in a little private message. He said, "Hey, just so you know, pre-orders are up." I went and pre-ordered it. He gave me like 15 minutes. Went pre-ordered it, made sure I got it, and then he went and put it out on social media, and it was like sold out.
And it
What,
was
like
gone.
20 minutes?
Yeah,
it was gone.
And it was gone shortly after.
So
That's why that
yes,
happened.
so Doug was kind of, but I wanted to get it for him. I knew he was into it, and him and I will race with it, and I'm sure
I'm excited.
So he's stoked. So that's coming, but also Glenn, something else that was launched that you're now getting.
Yep, the New Wave toys. They are basically shipping, or getting. I shouldn't say shipping. It's coming from the manufacturer in China, Dragon's Lair, which was their newest. Again, Kickstarter. New Wave Toys always does the things on Kickstarter, and this Dragon's Lair looks amazing. It's going to have a working LED scoreboard in the back, HDMI out. You can put it on your big TV. It's going to have a small fake DVD player inside the unit because there was a Laserdisc player inside. I cannot wait. And again, I suck at Dragon's Lair. I mean, I'm just going to sit there and look at it because it lasts me every time I play it. But that's on its way out. And also for people who back my Star Wars yoke, we're in full production mode right now. So hoping in the next 1 to 3 weeks, we'll begin shipping that out to the backers. And then going on from there.
I call
Awesome.
China Coronaville.
Well, let's show one other thing, too, before the show. That's all right. We're used to the randomness. Before the show, Glenn was sending us a message about this, and I want to pull this up here. This is the Dreamcast, and just to kind of give you an idea, this was that mini that came out. I guess they're starting to ship. Game Gear.
Get it right, Dad.
Well, it's the size of a VMU. It's actually
tiny.
smaller than the VMU,
Smaller.
right?
It's
Yeah,
smaller.
so this is
trying to
the
get to a bigger-
$50 Game Gear Micro that was, one of the first announcements out of Sega's 60th anniversary camp. And everyone, for the most part, when they saw this, said, "Yay!" And then they saw like the size and like the 1-inch screen. They said, "Oh, for
I was one.
collectability, it's cute
Yep.
and awesome. Like, I'm a Sega fanboy. Like, yeah, but as far as actually being able to play it, that's
I'm
not.
still getting one.
I mean, me too. Like I said, guilty as charged. I'm getting one just for.
But
the
you guys are going to
aesthetics and-
display it, though. Let's just
Yeah, I'm
call
gonna
a
put it on a
spade a
shelf
spade. You're going to
and say,
display it.
Hey, it looks cute. I'm not gonna literally try to
No.
sit there and do that and drive myself crazy. But
I mean,
I
I
can
even
tell you
did
right
that.
now, all you got to do.
I did
All
that
you
with the
gotta do is
original.
go to Amazon right now, and you get one of these little suckers right here, and you can just play it just fine.
Hey,
well, that was the funny thing. If you bought all
Glenn.
4, it came with one.
Glenn,
It
you
came with like
That's
some
right, it
fruit.
Oh, that
did.
did.
Glenn, you actually
Yep.
need that because when you turn
No, you see how small that thing is?
you need that magnifying glass because when you turn old, you can't see all your girlfriends.
Oh. So I did
That's why I got
that.
these, man.
But see, I did that though, Doug. I bought that Game Gear a couple months ago in the box, and it still plays, but it essentially needs to be recapped. Maybe I need to send it up to Glenn and have him work his magic on it. But I don't have any interest to sit there and play the Game Gear like I did when I was a kid. There's so many other, like the PSP. I've totally rebuilt that. If you guys follow me on Instagram, like I got it, and the front was all scratched up, and it's the Star Wars edition. That's why I kind of rebuilt it and got the new
like white
OEM.
tape.
They're in that
Yes.
cabinet.
Yeah,
And
it's
right
nice.
over
It's very
there.
nice.
It's so that the PSP I could still play, but as far as Game Gear goes, I mean it's great. I have some games for it, but I want it more just to sit in the box. Now, if it was recapped, yeah, I'd probably play it. Guilty as charged, but not that little one.
Yes, guilty as
You got to
charged.
recap it. You got to put a McWill screen in there and VGA out it.
Well, whenever
you
you're
go.
free
not
and you're
cheap,
not
though.
dating,
It's not cheap.
Whenever you're
I-
not dating
I'm
like
telling you,
Glenn,
I'll PayPal you the money, and I'll send you the thing, and you can put it together because you just did your
Well-
Turbo Express.
but that
I did. I got my Turbo Express working, but I'll say real quick that McWill, if you never heard of him before, he makes replacement screens for the Atari Lynx version 1, Atari Lynx version 2, and the Game Gear. And I've done all mine. I have videos on my channel if you want to see it. And actually, Retro Man Cave, I was actually really impressed. He actually used my video to help him do his links, put the McWill screen in.
Nice.
But it is so incredible how much you'll play them once you can actually see something on the screen. It's just beautiful. And VGA out is just a plus if you want to do that. But McWill, they're not cheap. It probably cost you about $120, $30 just for the screen. And it's involved putting it in. But once it's in, I'm telling you, it is
Well,
beautiful.
one other thing we got to mention, if you guys haven't done it yet, because we want to cover everything here, and I know we're running at it, we're way over time, but I want to show this to you. Doug and I, we were playing this last night.
I
not long
wasn't.
enough.
I couldn't get into the
I'm gonna-
eShop because Mr. Daddy
I
over
will
here.
get you that. Yeah, because you're a kid and you have to have a password on it.
I need a
Or you'll
password.
buy everything. But anyways, go download
Oh my
Super Mario 35. It is a lot of fun. Like, I managed to get like 6 worlds unlocked. I think the highest I finished was like 5th place. And that was because I was getting tired in my thumbs. I just ran into one of the pits, what looked like the first level. I was so mad because I was ready to. I went through like 15 stages. Like, it repeats itself like after you get the flag. But it's for free and you can only play till March. It is a lot of fun the way they do it. Doug, your experience,
It's
fun, right?
Yeah, it's mad. Like I said, I'm doing this all over the screen, trying to keep up with what's going at me and what's going on. I'm trying to, eyeball the left side and the right side of the screen to see how many players are still in the game. It's super fun, super enjoyable. It's a great new, fresh take on the original Super Mario Brothers for the NES. You got to play it. Like I said, it's free. So as long as you got Nintendo Switch Online, essentially it's free. But definitely check it out. I'm actually probably going to live stream it later on tonight, just because I want to get some more hours and experience under my belt for it, because I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, make sure you guys check that out. Watch Doug's channel for that.
I saw a late live stream about, like, wasn't it like a Mario type thing?
Yeah, that's a lot of people are
Where you
live
were,
streaming
like,
this.
Where you were like, you were raging so bad.
Dougie's called you out. You're a rage quit.
I mean,
Wasted.
I'm known for my rage temperament. Let's put it that
Well,
way.
I also managed to get Castlevania's collection for Switch last night, which was really cool.
Nice.
$20
Nice.
and you get like
Yeah.
10 games. I mean, I was like,
Well, money well spent for sure.
absolutely. And I do know some guys were commenting that it does go down in price from time to time. So guys, check it out. But it is worth the $20 if you can spend it and you want to play Castlevania good. That's. I mean, I'm a Castlevania fan, so that was like a no-brainer, and I've been waiting for it and trying to get it. So, Rexer says I could only get 2nd place, but going for 1st tonight, it is addicting for Mario 35th. Download it, tag us on Twitter, put your screen caps, tag us. We want to see at least Doug and I want to see it. What you guys are finishing. Glenn still has his all boxed up. No, you have yours all boxed up.
I do. True.
Maybe we can get Glenn to get his out. I know Daniel would like to see it. So guys, put it out there. Let's see here. Does Rex have a show coming up? I think Dubs and them are going live later at 9 o'clock. I think that's still on for tonight. I don't know if he's still in the chat room, but 9 Eastern, and that is 6 p.m. Pacific. So you guys can check out the Super Game Room. Dudes.
Don't hurt yourself.
Rex, do you have a show coming up? Because I want to announce it here so it's actually on the recording. Put it in the chat room. He has nothing scheduled
yet.
Listen,
I'm
happy.
I want people or not, you guys got to sub to him. He's got an awesome show. You got to sub him.
I got an idea for this. So we need to do the challenge again like he was doing, but we need to do the Retro Buzz versus the Super Game Room dudes versus Complete Geek TV versus, I forget who the other guys are, and I apologize if you watch this show, but we need to do that. I think that would be fun. Rex, make it happen. Make it happen. I think we should do that.
P-Dub?
I think that would be a lot of fun. So
P-Dub needs to get in here.
His show is always fun. I tell you, I enjoy going on that show.
It is. It's a lot of fun. So there is Super Game Room dudes tonight. P-Dub says 9 o'clock. And Rex says he's going to try it. We're going to push Rex's technical abilities on this. But no, it is. Go check it out. I watched the show with you guys. It was a lot of fun. And if you guys are out there, we're going to give a shout out to Complete Geek TV. If you guys are looking for podcast guests, those guys, and thanks to Doug for introducing us. Great guys. If you want guests on your show to talk about games, toys, whatever, invite those guys. They're really cool guys. Always willing to communicate, and go subscribe to their channel as well.
Not saying that when you're not funny. I think we need to mute.
I think we need to mute his mic for the night now. I think we're at the end of the show. I'm just teasing him.
Show you still have the power. You got the power.
Oh, he's messing.
Rage quit.
What do you call that? Is that a bus, Daniel? Is that what you call that? What did you call it? A butt?
Or wasted.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Wasted.
Oh, wasted.
Wasted.
Well, anyway, sit down. We're gonna wrap this up. Yeah, he's messing around. So, Doug, what do we got on deck? Anything?
Just like playing some Mario 35. I got some other things in the can, but you won't see them till next week. So just relax and enjoy the weekend. Play some video games.
and
I'm not gonna cost you any money this weekend.
And don't be like, Glenn.
well, yeah, and Doug's got some cool videos
What? I didn't
coming.
even say anything yet.
So
And don't be like Glenn and dating.
I was just gonna say, so don't expect any videos from Glenn this weekend because Glenn will be.
You probably wouldn't want to see those videos
No,
anyway.
we don't want to.
Wait,
Yes.
be honest.
wait. So, he might be saying that he's going out on a couple dates, but it might be only just Kathleen Kennedy and no other girl.
Oh.
Hey, if I gotta take one for the team, to get a decent Star Wars movie put out, I'm gonna do that.
All right.
Okay?
So youtube.com/gplanamento. You guys can check them out, and also all the Facebook groups. So we always have a great time here, guys, and we really appreciate it. Even my son's been actually getting into it. You can check him out instagram.com/Dan's Arcade, and you can follow
Can I
his little
just
venture.
be saying my Instagram account?
You can.
Because
I have it on your lower third.
I don't trust you.
I have it on your lower third.
I don't care.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'm only the producer here. Whatever.
You're only the help.
Okay. Yeah, I'm the listen, I'm the help. Listen to this guy. The guys are in there burn. Okay, so during the show I got some confirmation on some stuff. So there will not be a show next Friday. So I just wanted to put that out there to you guys that did stick around, pass the word around. Look for a YouTube video probably later this weekend, early Monday or Tuesday, explaining why there will not be a show and what is actually going to be going on over the next couple weeks, guys. That would probably be the best thing. The next couple weeks, months. These guys already know what's going on, and there's a lot of details we can't give you right now.
Because it's under construction.
But we're going to we'll give you that stuff. So it's not bad. It's nothing bad, but there is a reason that there will be no show next week. So I will let you guys know what's going on. So look for that YouTube video if you're not subscribed. YouTube.com/TheTechBuzz. And I do want to thank everybody. I hit 6,000 subscribers for a guy that does not put a lot of effort into YouTube. I know I should start.
He definitely doesn't. He really doesn't.
I really don't promote it at all.
Happy subscribers.
It shows.
Happy subscribers.
Well, you know what? Wait a second.
today.
Wait a second. So yeah, it does show, right? Because
I'm just messing with
11
you.
years, 12 years, 6,000, and I look at how much effort P-Dubs puts into it, and I'm going, there ain't no way I'm gonna do that. I'm just not. I mean, Doug, you guys, you got tons of subscribers, but I really appreciate those.
I got like
of you guys
two more than you. What are you talking about? I've been doing it for 6 years. I got two more than you. Come on.
Glenn,
Yeah, but I've been doing this for 12 years, and I
Glenn-
don't put a lot of effort and attention.
Yeah, but I
into
put in
it.
effort. You don't.
Glenn.
I mean, I put in quality. You
Glenn,
know.
I'm surprised.
I'm
Glenn,
just hired help.
Glenn, I'm just surprised that you
There's a
haven't.
fly, right? You hear a fly? There's a fly.
Glenn, I'm surprised you.
What's that?
Don't yell into the mic.
I'm surprised that you haven't even sung "Happy Subscribers" today.
We don't need to do that. Anyways, so guys, I really appreciate that. I wish I was adding a real full-size Cruising USA. That would not fit in here. Anybody that's seen my game room, that would not happen.
Great.
But I do think that Arcade 1-Up is going to bring one. I do think that. I haven't gotten any
Eventually.
kind of confirmation, but I do think that's coming. So hopefully we'll have some news on that. But guys, again, thank you so much. You guys can also subscribe to the podcast here. We have it in audio and video form on iTunes, Google Play, pretty much anywhere that you're able to get a podcast or video cast. If you don't get to catch it live or you see part of it, or Facebook dies on you like it did today, and I know it kicked back up and so it's working again.
I may have not.
Or
seen it on
YouTube,
Instagram.
Roku, all these
Instagram?
places, you can pretty much watch it anywhere. So again, Mr. Doug, thank you for being here. Mr. Glenn, again, thank you. Daniel's ready to go eat some dinner, so make sure you guys go check him out. Guys, thank you so much for being here. We'll see you next time. Maybe we'll do a show in between if something breaks, but for now, this is where we're at. And I have to yell at him because he's scratching the microphone and I can hear it in my headset, and I don't like noisy audio. Till next time, guys, keep it buzzing. And we're live.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Dig it. Dig it. Macho Dubs is here, standing alongside my tag team partner, Buzz Kill.